Alright, well, something to note about 7DRLs, by the way. I can't play all of them. And Strudel is basically a good example of this, because if I basically enter Strudel right here, Linux. Yep, this is a Linux-based game, and I use Windows, so can't play that one. And this is not the only game that basically I came across when I basically was reviewing 7DRLs that I just can't review. I would like to review BoRL over here, but this one is also basically a Linux-based game, runs on Linux. It's supposed to be a browser-based one, but I guess the browser part isn't working, so not much you can basically do about that. But whatever. Moving on. A rogue's journey. You are on a journey on an unknown planet. Defend yourself with your laser gun and fight these strange creatures. Controls: WASD to move around, shooting with arrow keys. Pause to escape. This game is my submission to the 7DRL Challenge Game Jam. Alright, so my first game jam, pixel art, roguelike, roguelite, space, unity, blah blah. It's made by Mappy Plays. Well, let's see what this one's all about. It looks like it's going to be a 2D, twin stick shooter. So that should be interesting. Alright, start. Yep, it's a twin stick shooter. You can only have one shot on the screen at a time, apparently. Or maybe it's just a really slow fire. I leveled up! Hooray! So shot speed can go up. Speed can go up. Let's go hot laser. So I have to say this would be better if it was basically, of course, done with the mouse. I mean, you can make it with, arrow keys, basically, but, it's not great. Or necessary, really. There's better control schemes, is what I'm saying. Oh, okay, you can shoot diagonally if you want to. Alright, that's good to know. I suppose technically this is a proper twin stick shooter. It's just got only 8 directions basically for its stuff. Hot laser. I'm not seeing a whole lot of different upgrades. That enemy can't get me because I'm basically through trees. They go back to their starting positions if they can't get to you. Good to know. I mean, this game works obviously, but far more needs to be done for it, I think. Okay, we got this. We'll get this. I can escape now, I guess. I mean, it makes sense to clear out everything, right? So, why not? This is almost the first level basically completed, I guess. There's 10 of those purple things, assuming they're currency. Very big playfield, by the way. This is her throw it out there. Wow, that's an issue right there. If you basically press escape, it doesn't pause. It like, kicks you out first. So that's a thing to note. So escape key is probably not the best choice, basically, to like use for a key there. Oh, here's a boss. And there we go. So I guess this key basically unlocks the door. Is all the idea for it. Yep. Alright, so now I have a new biome. New enemy space to fight. So you got shot speed and fire rate again. There's not a whole lot basically like outside is like upgrading what you got here. So not really much of really in that sort of sense. Not sure what's up with these enemies rushing me like they are, but whatever. Interesting. Find the key and move on. It'd be nice if like the enemies like reacted to like me like shooting them off screen like this. Let's get some more speed, I guess. There we go. Got the upgrade. Honestly, it'd be more beneficial for me to basically just wait around and kill all the guys here, but let's just move on. I guess we don't like use that because we actually haven't lost our HP here, but whatever. Here's this boss again. Are those skeletons that throw stuff at me? Okay. We already got the key, so let's just advance here, I guess. Okay, for some reason this like map is a little bit laggy, so there's that sort of like note here. Okay, we got gun core, some more damage. I do like the fact that at least it's got at least some randomization instead of the fact that like you can't like pick up the same upgrade every single time. I guess. Honestly, not really. There we go. This boss again. And we'll see what the fourth biome looks like, I guess. So you complete your journey. Okay, well. As someone's first game, I guess it's not bad, but a role like this is very little, to say the least. It would have been a lot better if it just to throw like all those guys basically on like one map. Like, just basically throw the skeletons and the sort of like sand wheeler guys with like the slimes basically on the same map and like, have them like all basically like, congregating around it basically instead of like having like, different type of thing. I mean, the thing that this basically lacks is depth for the most part. Maybe have some items basically to like, change your laser pistol into like, maybe like a boomerang to like just like, sweep around stuff like that or something like that. But whatever. In terms of being one of the lower ranked games, this is one of the better lower ranked games, so there's that going for it. Let's see what the judges basically said for this one. So, a rogue's journey. 2.0 for completeness. There are jumps in between levels, and I had a couple runs just crash after pausing or after changing full screen, but for most part this works. I didn't have any issues with that myself. Aesthetics, clean control, simple graphics, this could easily be a free, but none of the graphics really wowed me despite being nice enough. They felt pretty standard. I mean, I'd probably still get free myself, but I can see where he's coming from. Not unfun, but slow-paced, easy, and doesn't have enough variation in runs to justify a high fun rating for me. The upgrades are so incremental that you don't really feel them. I don't actually agree with that, by the way. There are like, enough that can actually feel them, but I have to agree that, like, they don't really do a whole lot busy as well, so there's that too. Innovation, really straightforward, it does what it does. And then we got scope. More tech demo than a full game, given how similar enemies are in the length of game. I have to agree, it's not enough, here basically to play with. But like this, procedural variation and permadeath, not much variation runs, keeps this from hitting a free to me. I think the biggest issue for like Broliv is basically the complexity for the most part. If you had like, more basically like, enemies to play with, I mean, that would help. If you had like more enemies to play with, that'd help. More bosses. But, for the most part, I agree with the score. You only have 1% basically brew it, but they did a fairly good job, I think, so. Headset went off there for a moment. Not really much more to say than that. So, that's the Rogue's Journey. Hope you guys basically enjoyed it, and take care. Only a few more games before you get into like the really bad ones, I guess. Lower ranked ones, I guess.